you doing there, folks? Baiters here for another Top 10. This week, we're going to be looking at the top 10 most horrifying mods for Fallout 4. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button so that my dad will finally be proud of me. We're hoping to get 6 likes on this video and beat our last video by 6 likes. Remember, if you're playing on Xbox, to keep your face balls ready for this nutless Power Ranger, as that's an indicator that that mod featured is available on your console. Now use a leaf blower to go around and mess up your neighbor's newspapers, and when they ask you why you did it, just slowly start rubbing your nipples. And let's get to average baiting, baby! At number 10, we have M's Abominations by M. Now, is there anything more terrifying than a Deathclaw? The answer is yes. Yes, there is. It's a mutated dolphin wearing an officer's hat holding a laser rifle. Mutated animals are definitely creepy, to say the least. And Fallout 4 has its fair share of creepy creatures to keep you on your toes as you progress through the game. However, M has managed to add new, even more terrifying mutations to the Commonwealth to really spice things up on the battlefield. Honestly, you've never really enjoyed Fallout 4 until you fight a giant robot donut that's trying to kill you because you're on a sugar-free diet. Now, although not all of these creatures are terrifying, they are all unique additions to the world, and some of them definitely fit the characteristics of what you might see in a horror movie. Take for instance this bloodworm fly. Now imagine you were brushing your teeth and you saw this thing coming at you in your peripheral vision. I think it's safe to say you'd shit in your pajamas. Yeah. This mod adds over 30 new creatures to the Commonwealth. All of these creatures have their own unique look and function in the game, all of which appear to be mutations of mutations. So they're ugly as fuck. Except for this little guy, he's cute enough to hug. Wow, he's great, isn't he? But the rest of them have had a few too many trips on the Frightfully Ugly Express. It's hard to imagine a creature that would actually look better if you hit them in the face with a shovel. Now, with this mod installed, you'll be able to see upwards of 30 of them, all revolting in their own right. I rate this mod one rich lady who realized that people are way more comfortable than cushions. And also one other person who realized they shouldn't trust rich people who offer them candy. I need to stop accepting candy from strangers. At number 9, we have Twisted Metal's Sweet Tooth by Wapedale. Clowns are just inherently scary. Some clowns are even scarier than a lopsided nipple. Yeah. It's always been my policy just to not trust clowns whatsoever. Put it this way, I've never put my trust in a clown. And I've also never been murdered. Coincidence? I think not. Now, Sweet Tooth is a fictional character killer clown that operates one of the deadliest vehicles in his game space. His sadistic ice cream truck is enough to scare the metal balls off of Optimus Prime himself, as not only does it harbor deadly weapons, but it's the outer shell of a true lunatic in the Twisted Metal franchise. Maybe the most iconic character of the Twisted Metal series, Sweet Tooth will tap into anyone's chlorophobia. Sweet Tooth makes Pennywise the dancing clown look like a little bitch. Put it this way, if you saw Sweet Tooth in a sewer drain when you were 8 years old, you wouldn't be reaching into that sewer drain no matter how convincing he was.
Oh, Judgy, you want your boat back?
Nope, fuck that. You keep it.
But it's your boat. It's your boat, Judgy.
Sign it in paper, you keep it, Dad.
But it's your boat, Judgy.
I'll just make another one. It's cool.
Put it this way, if Sweet Tooth showed up to your 11-year-old's birthday party, you wouldn't be celebrating at 12. Now, Sweet Tooth may not have his macabre vehicle in this modded edition of Fallout 4, but he does foster his terrifying appearance and a big fucking knife, in case his face wasn't scary enough. Now, if you want to acquire this outfit, you're in luck, because it will be in your inventory as soon as you download this mod. There are also multiple variations, so you can change up the color to suit your sociopathic tendencies at the time. Now you'll be able to go around terrorizing the shit out of people in Fallout 4. The only thing that would make this mod better would be to have a working version of his ice cream truck in the game. That way you could coax people in real close with the false promise of delicious treats, only to shoot a rocket right at their belly buttons. I rate this mod one malevolent slide that kills adults of questionable intelligence. We're here to mourn Gary, who died like he lived, playing on recreational equipment built for toddlers. He will be missed. At the number 8 spot, we've got Terminator Synth Gen 2 by Secret Agent 99. Now I know what some of you may be thinking. Wait just one hairy coconut baiters. Terminators aren't really all that scary or spooky. To that I say this. If your name was Sarah Connor in the early 1980s, then you were likely pretty frightened. Just imagine a juiced up Arnold busting through your door with a fucking magnum trying to blow your face off. That's a pretty horrific scene. Did you ever notice that people always run away from villains in these horror movies? Now, I might not be a marine dermatologist, but if a lunatic was chasing me with murder in their eyes, I'd just stand perfectly still. You know, treat them like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. Try to get in their blind spot and shit. Yeah, there's a 98% chance I get stabbed repeatedly, but if it worked, I'd be a genius. See, people always sprint away from these guys. So maybe, just maybe, murderers wouldn't be expecting the whole stand still thing. So if you just meander off slowly, they wouldn't know what to think. Will he stabbing all the other panicking people? You can just slip out of there, like you showed up to the wrong party. Oops. This mod retextures all the synths in the game to make them look more like Terminators rather than synths. They have metallic frames and even optional red eyes like Arnold himself in the 1980s. Now there are 8 variants to choose from while you're installing this mod, including burned, chrome, shiny chrome, dark clean, dark dirty, which sounds kinda sexy, steel clean, steel dirty, and steel dirty with skin pieces. Sounds kinda messy. Rather than take away from immersion, I feel that this mod just makes the world more immersive and terrifying, making you believe that synths are really a force to be avoided on a regular basis. This is an excellent mod that makes fighting synths a more terrifying dynamic in Fallout 4. I rate this mod one weird golf instructor who makes everything progressively more awkward.
Oh, what do you got there? Quite a little tricky putt, eh? Now why don't you go ahead and put your balls in that hole over there, yeah? God, you smell nice.
Dude, what the fuck? Boundaries, bro! Boundaries! Good God. At the number 7 spot, we've got No Place is Safe, Hunted Encounters by the Lone Warrior. This mod adds a number of encounters based on your given level as well as when you obtain certain items in the game. For example, taking a high-tech weapon or rare item may cause some stalkers to come after you. New enemies will now seek you out and try to kill you and will be able to find you no matter where you are. They will even find ways into your settlements, which makes you actually feel like the AI have a mind of their own and are using their IQ and survival tactics to infiltrate undetected. For this mod to work, all you have to do is play as you normally would and eventually, someone's gonna come looking for you. Be warned though, this mod wasn't designed to be easy, and the enemies you encounter will spawn at high levels, even from a new game, making starting a new game a truly horrific experience. Sometimes you'll just have to run away, like a bitch. But they're not gonna give up, no. They will chase you down and they will fuck you! Especially if they catch a glimpse of your tight, warm, delicious butt cheeks. Good. Yeah, they'll be after you because of those. See, this is why ghosts are so scary to people, okay? It's because they can get you anywhere at any time. They can just push their cloud-like bodies through walls and shit. Honestly, normal ghosts, they really don't scare me even that much. Now, what really scares me is a ghost that comes up behind you when you're doing pottery at 2 in the morning and fucks up your pottery on purpose. What the hell, Swayze? Do I stick my dirty fingers in your pots? No, I do not. How am I supposed to eat my Count Chocula now? You know that normal bowls create more work for me because of my constant refills and my bad knees. How about next time you're building a Lego pirate ship for 4 hours, I come over and drop kick it right out the fucking window? What do you think of that? Not so funny now, is it? Huh? The aim here is to be a realistic mod, when your enemies can catch up to you and continue to pursue you, even if you escape for the moment. The enemies here, they do not forget, and they are extremely relentless. Some of the new types of enemies that have been added are bandits, cannibals, maniacs, addicts, trackers, stalkers, hunter-killers, titans, and even bosses. Each one of these characters matches up to their names, with characteristics that are definitive to say the least. For instance, the trackers aren't the best fighters, but they're almost impossible to hide from. They can track you almost anywhere, whereas addicts use chems to buff out and attack you relentlessly. Very difficult to fend off. This is a really awesome mod that makes enemy encounters a more realistic, immersive, and even a terrifying experience. I rate this mod one kitty cat who thinks having big feet makes up for having a small penis.
12.5 inches!
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I thought you wanted to know the size of my confusingly large feet. so I just yelled it at you.
Are you jealous of my giant feet? Are you jelly? I'm miserable. I'm so miserable.
At the number 6 spot, we've got Cross Crit Gorverhall by Nero. One of the hallmarks of any horror film, besides jump scares, is excessive violence. This is one characteristic that horror films share with the Fallout franchise. However, before this mod, the energy weapons felt a little lackluster in terms of violence and gore during combat and wouldn't really leave a lasting impression in your mind. This mod ameliorates that and makes the energy, fire, and plasma weapons really feel terrifying in Fallout 4. This mod is especially terrifying to NPCs who enjoy having skin. This mod adds several new special effects by default and even gives you the freedom to adjust the frequency of the critical special effects with the use of a holotape placed in your inventory right away. This mod overrides the default fire, laser, alien laser, and plasma critical effects. Now, whenever humans, ghouls, super mutants, feral dogs, or deathclaws die to critical hits from one of those elements, they will be reduced in an epic and gory fashion to just skeletal remains, rather than just leaving a pile of goo or ash behind. Now these weapons really feel dangerous, and it makes them a lot more fun to use in Fallout 4. Now Fallout will feel more violent and disturbing right down to its very core, making it look and feel even more like a horror movie. I think it's safe to say when you shoot someone with an energy weapon with this mod installed, there's a good chance they're not gonna be okay. Ah! You got me! I'm melting!
I'm melting!
I didn't die! I'm just really badly melted. You don't have a band-aid, do you? Be honest with me here, man. How long do you think I am? Ballpark it. You don't happen to know any doctors, do you? I rate this mod one polar bear who's terrible at winter.
I do not want to alarm anyone, but there appears to be a precariously low amount of friction over there. I am slipping and sliding everywhere, and I do not understand it.
At number 5, we have Pilgrim Dread the Commonwealth by Trey M. Pilgrim is a horror overhaul for Fallout 4 created from the ground up by Looping and Trey M, the creators of other popular ENBs called Photorealistic Commonwealth and Cinematic Film Looks. This mod takes much of its inspiration from the atmosphere and weather seen in the American horror film The Witch. This mod will make Fallout 4 a truly horrific looking experience. I can honestly say I haven't been this frightened since little Billy got out of his cage and ran off to the authorities. I honestly didn't think a 3-year-old could chew through a 4-inch thick metal chain. Boy, that kid was determined. This mod doesn't just add a new terrifying look, no. It adds new weather sounds and environment lighting that have been completely designed from scratch to bring realism to a dreadful atmosphere. A new camera emulation system has been designed as well, using a new tone mapping method that emulates the way digital cinema cameras capture footage on a film set. A new weather plugin has been created with this new tone mapping method as well, and is tightly integrated with this ENB. So I highly recommend you install that as well. The ENB features lens emulation, film grain, adjustable letterboxing, optional sharpening, and lift shadows function that can be disabled for deeper shadows. Now if you're like me and you have no clue what any of that means, just know that it means the world space will be more realistic and scary. All the features are optional, so you can switch them on or off depending on your preference. Furthermore, the performance is quite good, dropping only 5 to 6 frames per second on average and only 10 to 12 frames per second in cities on a single GTX 970 at 1080p. 2 extra presets of the ENB with lower quality settings have been created as well for weaker systems. This is an absolutely excellent addition to Fallout 4, one that will truly change the way you look at and play through the world of Fallout. I rate this mod one guy who sniffed one too many magic markers. Guys, come on, be honest. Do you like my hat? At the number 4 spot, we've got Atomguard by Galadro. This mod adds an entirely new race and questline to Fallout 4. You can choose between 2 separate factions. You can either become a vampire or become a vampire hunter. Each faction has their own castle where you'll have to go in order to start the questline for that particular faction. Note that the vampires in this mod are not your typical Twilight vampires. No, these vampires are evil as shit, and they will bite you right on your dick if you're not one of them. Note that if you are not a vampire, then randomly vampires will appear during your travels and try to kill you. And if you are a vampire, then random vampire hunters will appear and try to kill you. Although being a vampire hunter is pretty cool, the coolest part of this mod would be becoming an actual vampire, as you will acquire new skills and abilities as you become a stronger vampire. If you are a vampire and you don't feed, you will also be affected negatively as you move through the stages of thirst, from stage 1 all the way to stage 4. At first, you will just take minor sun damage in the daylight, but the higher your stage, the higher the damage. At stage 4, however, you will be decomposing, so you will constantly take damage until you feed again. As a vampire, you can acquire increased speed, flying, invisibility, teleportation, and more. There are also 9 new weapons, new consumables, outfits, random encounters, followers, and much more. Being a vampire has many perks. It's like my Uncle Jeb always used to say, when life gives you lemons, just whip out your dick and jerk off all over those lemons. Needless to say, he was misunderstood and frequently kicked out of the produce section of most grocery stores. But I think what Jeb was trying to say here is you need to become a vampire in Fallout 4. Note that you will need the Far Harbor DLC for this mod to work properly, as the Vampire Castle is located in Far Harbor, and the Vampire Hunter's Castle is located in the Commonwealth. This is an excellent addition to the game that adds a whole new game style to the world of Fallout 4. I rate this mod that moment you realize you need to start waiting at a different bus stop in the future.
Excuse me there, sir. I was wondering if you'd care to rub our belly buttons together? Mine is soft and yellow, if that factors into your decision at all. Does it?
Take the bus, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Now I'm likely gonna get murdered by a giant yellow Teletubby. At the number 3 spot, we've got Creepy Mannequins by Relo 2228. Horror films frequently glorify insane antagonists, with characteristics and behavior that is not only bizarre, but stands out in your mind and leaves a lasting impression. Like, oh goodness, how did they not know he was wearing that guy's face? Well, in order to create a truly horrific or scary environment, there must be a bombardment of unusual items littered throughout the environment to emphasize a severely disordered state of mind that is both extremely unreasonable and impulsively unpredictable. These mannequins embody that delusion and state of mind in a way that would put anyone on edge. Oh my fucking god! With this mod installed, all the mannequins in the game will be replaced with these abnormal, emotionally abused manifestations you see here. These mannequins are insanely disturbing to look at, and would likely scare most people if they showed up unannounced. However, because of my calm demeanor, I'm immune to their frightening disposition. Let's keep it together, Baiters. Let's keep it together. Just remember your training. Breathe. Just keep it together. Relax. Just remember your training. Nothing to be afraid of here, man. Keep it together. Keep it together. Oh, God, please don't kill me. Oh, God, I got kids, man. They ain't my kids, but I got them. Oh, you're not real. Whew. Oh, you're just your fucking doll. Oh, you're just a stupid man-sized doll. I knew that. You're not scary, are you? Are you?
Yes, I am.
These mannequins look like a serial killer's instruction manual, and are sure to scare the tits off of anyone playing Fallout 4. What makes these mannequins truly disturbing is that they look a lot like a corpse that has been mutilated post-mortem to look a lot more happy and alive. Now, the only thing scarier than dead bodies are dead bodies that have been mutilated to look like they're still alive. No, Gary's not dead. See? He's happy. Say hi, Gary. Say hi to the people. Say hi. I said say hello to the people, Gary. Sorry about that. Sometimes he gets a little shy, you know? New people and all. He's such a kidster. But he's fine. He's breathing and everything, you know. I rate this mod one monkey who likes to get spanked on the ass. Boy, those butt cheeks look abused. At the number 2 spot, we've got Fallout 2287, Gas Mask of the Wasteland by Divine122. Masks can be useful, like if you're a hockey goalie or you're dressing up for Halloween, or if you need to knock off an 11-year-old's lemonade stand for some drug money. There's all sorts of practical uses for masks, really. Before this mod, the masks in Fallout 4 were purely cosmetic and offered no practical application in-game. However, with this mod installed, even a small walk from Sanctuary to Diamond City can be a terrifying experience. This mod makes the air unbreathable in the Commonwealth and uses gas masks as a mitigating solution to the toxicity in the atmosphere. Gas masks now have filters that need to be changed as you travel outside in the world space. When the filters run out, you better have another one on deck or you'll be dead as shit. The filters can be crafted with the right components and can also be found on dead enemies who also need oxygen to survive. Gas masks will now be present on all breathing characters outside in the Commonwealth, unless of course they don't require untoxified oxygen like synths or super mutants. There's also some new animations that have been added that will wipe blood and water off the gas masks as they accumulate on the visor in the first-person perspective. There are also new animations for equipping and unequipping the gas masks in both first-person and third-person perspectives, as well as changing the filters in third-person perspective. That's a lot of perspectives. New sounds have also been added that make traveling the Commonwealth feel more immersive than ever, as you'll hear your character breathe and run out of breath when you're running away, or just freaking out when things get a little dicey. Indoors, the gas masks are not required as the air is filtered in each residence. I absolutely love this mod, and I think it's an incredible addition to anyone's playthrough of Fallout 4. I rate this mod 4 guys who thought it would be funny to film themselves jerking off on a Black Bear's box of honeycomb cereal. Not a great idea. At the number 1 spot, we've got the Vault Buddy Follower by Cohagen. Now, the Vault Buddy is a fever dream of what would happen if Pinocchio got possessed by the devil and ended up in Fallout 4. The Vault Buddy, from what I can gather from the clues and details in the house you find him at, is a pre-war toy purchased for this kid. And by the looks of those bloodshot eyes, that kid never slept again after owning this nightmare made out of wood. Honestly, at some point, you gotta question the parenting here. Who buys their kid a doll that looks like it's one piece of incriminating evidence away from a government-induced lethal injection? This doll makes normal serial killers just look like weird babysitters or something. I'd imagine day-to-day life was really fucked up in this family. Wouldn't surprise me if the parents just threw spiders at the kids in the shower just to terrify them on a regular basis. Here you go, kids!
Oh God! Not the spider! Not the spider!
The Vault Buddy, besides from being a horror movie's wet dream, is actually a follower that you can utilize in Fallout 4. Once you've downloaded this mod, you'll need to be brave enough to explore this haunted house, which is located just outside of Bunker Hill. Now, in order to get this little nightmare with legs, you'll have to go through what appears to be a haunted house or a 200-year-old crime scene. Each time you find a new clue that leads you closer to this little psycho-friendly boy puppet, there is a little something new to terrify you. Whether it's visual, like this. No, this isn't happening! This isn't happening! No! No! This isn't happening! No! God, no! Oh, God, no! Or it's audio, like this.
Let's hear Pickles.
I'm not entirely sure whether I was scared there or turned on. But boy, that was freaky, wasn't it? Good God, what a voice. Eventually, you won't know where to turn or what to do so you don't cry like a man-child filled with shame. Suffice it to say, this mod is as scary as a shark in a kiddie pool. Oh God, what is that? Oh, geez. Oh, good God, it appears to have gotten Billy!
Oh no!
Oh god, good god, no! Although this follower doesn't have a ton of speech options, you still feel like you know what it's thinking at all times.
Red rum! Red rum! Red rum!
Sounds about right. The mod author did a wonderful job on this companion mod, really bringing a murderous boy doll to life in the game. Everything the Vault Buddy does suits his character perfectly, from his jolted movements to his serial killer style of running, right down to the way he looks at you with his soulless glass eyes. Good God, I've never been so scared to go to sleep. I would highly recommend this mod to anyone's playthrough of the game if you're interested in a truly terrifying quest experience and a follower that will creep you out on the regular until you end up on the back of a milk carton. I rate this mod 1 photo of what happens when you don't wear enough tiger repellent when you're out at the lake. Needless to say, you're gonna get chased by fucking tiger. Thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and come back for more fun next time. And if you're lucky, at the stroke of midnight, a tiny little Average Baiter's fairy will tickle you right on your butthole. Also, if you'd like to see more content from Average Baiters and want us to make videos full time, then come over and support us on Patreon. Even $1 can help us get closer to our goals. Now, if we do get enough support to keep the lights on without having to give out hand jobs anymore for quarters, then we'll definitely do YouTube full time. Thanks again for watching, folks, and hope to see y'all again next time for another Top 10.